Oh, that's good. Duck is always good because it's fatty, and fat is always flavor. Now the sauce that we made just added an extra element of flavor in it as well. Meanwhile, oh, that's really good. You should do this and okay, today I'm going to make duck and I'm just like laughing at myself. Yeah. Okay, hi Ethan and Kate. Today I'm going to make one of your favorite dishes, which will be the duck with cucumber and tomatoes. It's Friday, it's perfect time to do it. It's easy to make, the ingredients are really simple. I know I don't make this often, it's just been too busy, and sometimes it's hard to find good duck. But fortunately we have a butcher that we could go to, a meat shop that we could go to. So always remember to make it in part of your menu. It's easy to make, and you should store some duck or duck breast in your fridge. Okay, so this is for you, Ethan and Kate. Duck with cucumbers and tomatoes, and on that it's nice to drink, since it's Friday, a nice rosé. Yeah. Okay, so these are our main ingredients, which is the duck. You could buy just the breast of duck, or you could also use the thigh. But today I was able to buy one whole duck, which I cut into the breast and the thigh, and I also have the carcass and the duck skin, which I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with it later on. So we have the duck, which I've scored, so it's going to cook much easier, and also you get that crispy skin. We're also going to have some salt, soy sauce, half a cup of chicken broth. These are sliced tomatoes, which I've decored, so there's no seeds in it. You could have the seeds in it, but the only reason I don't like the seeds, it's because it sort of like makes the dish very watery, and I don't like that. We also have here cubed cucumbers, one large cucumber, and I also have some basil, which I've cut into sliced into small slices here. Okay, so that's basically what we're going to do. We just have a few ingredients here, but it's going to be a really good dish. Now what I've done with the duck, since I got one whole duck, is I cut off all of the skin. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to render the skin to get some duck fat. The duck fat I'm going to use for cooking or add it into a sandwich later on. I'm just going to show you how I do that. It's very easy to make. It's nice not to waste any part of the duck, because duck's also expensive, and at the same time it's also good to use all of the parts of the animal. It's much more of like respect for the animal. Okay, and the remainder of the duck, which this is the carcass of the duck, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put I'm going to drizzle it with salt, and I'm going to put it in the oven, and I'm going to roast it on like around 400 degrees, and cook it until until it gets all cooked, and we're going to pick on the remaining meat of the duck in here. So nothing goes to waste. I didn't waste anything. All of it is going to be cooked, and nothing's going to be thrown into the trash except for the bone. Okay, so let's go ahead and start cooking with our duck with cucumbers and tomatoes. So I'm going to start off with a cold pan, not with a heated pan, because if you use a heated pan, you're not going to render the fat of the duck. So if you look at the duck breast here, I've scored it, so it will be crispy. So we're going to start off with a cold pan. Not too hot, just right in the middle. Okay, so here's the carcass of the duck. I've added in the wing because I had no plans of frying it, so I'm just going to add it in here. So I'm going to just generously salt the duck here, and we're going to put it onto the oven for under 400 degrees or 375, and then just keep an eye on it, maybe 20 minutes, just to see that it's going to be cooked. On second thought, so while the duck's frying, I'm going to show you how I render the fat from the duck skin. This is around maybe 1/4 cup of water. I'm going to put it in the pot here with the, oops, no, less than 1/4 cup of water. So you'll see that. The purpose is just to help it render the fat, and so that the chicken skin won't also stick onto the pot. I'm using. Okay, so let's check this out. See if it's going to be an easy release. There you go. See? It easily, the duck easily releases once the skin is cooked. So just be patient. Wow, that's a nice sear right there. And see all of the fat that's coming out. We didn't use any oil. This is all fat that's coming from the duck skin. So I think this is done. I'm just going to put it, set it aside, and I'm going to let it rest. So the ducks are done. I've had them rested. I'm just going to make the sauce. What to do that, it's just like making gravy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the excess oil. We're going to leave the brown bits. Get rid of the oil here. And then remember the chicken broth. I'm going to put it in here. We're going to let it boil, reduce it real quickly. Add some soy sauce, a tablespoon of soy sauce. You could save some more, save some of the soy sauce for the seasoning later on if it's not salty enough. So we're going to put this on high heat and let it boil, and that will be. So here's our sauce. It's reduced. We're going to use this to dress the duck with the cucumbers and tomatoes. So I'm going to just. So here's our duck skin that we're rendering, and I covered it for a few minutes just so it covers the rest of it. So here's the duck that's been plated. Soy sauce and duck fat. So here you go. And that's the plated dish right there. Here's the duck with tomato and cucumber with reduced duck fat sauce. And we're going to do a quick taste. Normally it's much preferable that you have it medium rare, but I like it medium. I like it cooked all the way through. So just cook it to your liking. Oh, that's good. Duck is always good because it's fatty, and fat is always flavor. Now the sauce that we made just added an extra element of flavor in it as well. Meanwhile, oh, that's really good. You should do this and make this on a regular basis. Duck meat could be expensive, but budget it into your marketing costs, and you'll have a really good meal. Meanwhile, remember I was doing the duck skin. I rendered that fat, the duck skin, and I'm already generated the duck skin fat. That one I'm going to drain, I'm going to strain it, and I'm going to use the duck fat for frying potatoes, or I could even spread it onto a sandwich. It's like butter, and a lot of people don't realize that duck fat has so much flavor in it. Remember the remaining bones of the duck when I cut it all up? Here it is. I roasted it with, it's ugly. I roasted it with salt and some herbs de Provence. It looks ugly, but actually it's going to taste really good because it's just meat that's been roasted and flavored with salt. So nothing goes to waste with this when you buy a whole duck and you cut it into the pieces that you need. Okay, so hopefully you get to try to make this dish, which is the duck with tomatoes and cucumbers. So Ethan, Kate, I know you like duck, but I overcook my duck all the time, so cook it the way that you want it.